Oh yeah, it looks like it's going to be a pretty nice crowd tonight. So thank you all for coming. I know it is late in on the East Coast. Probably have some people tuning in from New York City. So thanks for spending your evening with us. I am in Denver, Colorado. I cannot believe how dark it is, you guys. It is absolutely insane. I'm so sorry in advance about the lighting. I'm going to give it like 20 more seconds and then we'll jump right into the presentation today. I don't anticipate it taking the full hour. We have a short sort of slide deck that I'll run through as quick as I can, and then the most important part is getting to answer your specific questions. So feel free to start popping them in the chat now and as we go through the presentation. This is our Thinking About a Tech Career Start Here webinar info session. So I'm going to jump. We're going to get started. I'm going to jump right in. This is me. Hi, my name is Ray. I am the admissions lead for our software engineering program, specifically here at Flatiron School. I need to update the slide because I've been here for almost 2.5 years, which is crazy. I am based out of Denver, Colorado. And if you are curious about me, I am an avid foodie, road tripper, and also a furniture collector. So that's me. And I will be your host today. This is our agenda. Let me move myself really quick. This is the welcome. We're going to talk a little bit about Flatiron School and our background, give a solid program overview of the 4 disciplines that we offer. We'll talk about the admissions process. We'll talk about career services, our 2020 jobs report. And then, like I said, want to spend the bulk of time doing an open Q&A. So feel free to pop questions in the chat box. They can be questions about something that you hear in the presentation today, or just like Flatiron School in general, or like a situational question, whatever you guys need, I am here for. And then we will wrap up with some next steps. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right in and we can get started. Let me make myself smaller so that you can see the presentation. All right, let's do this. We will start with our mission statement, which is to enable the pursuit of a better life through education. Our goal is to set you up for a successful future in your new career path. We definitely consider this to be a career-changing course, and we want to make your transition into the tech industry a smooth one. So we'll dive into what that looks like throughout the rest of the presentation. This is a brief history of Flatiron School. We were founded in 2012 in New York City by Adam and Avi. They combined Abby's passion for education, or Adam's passion for education, with Avi's experience in code to create the Flatiron School curriculum. Currently, we have 8 campus locations in Austin, Chicago, Denver, Houston, Manhattan, San Francisco, Seattle, and Washington, D.C. And our sister school, Security Academy, also operates in Colorado Springs and here in Denver. And then lastly, our graduates are able to launch careers in the tech industry with impressive starting salaries, and in most cases, make a full career transition in less than a year. These are some of the employers that our graduates have been hired on with. You'll see everything from like banks to insurance companies and some pretty prestigious tech company names as well. I think more than anything, it just shows how much we depend on technology on a day-to-day basis, and that most companies who operate a website or an app rely on a team of software engineers and data scientists and cyber analysts to make that happen. I'm moving right along to talk about our sort of like response to COVID. Our campuses have been closed and operating remotely since March of 2020. I'm sure that you all know that by now. But very, very excited to share that we will be reopening select campuses soon. In fact, we have in-person cohorts resuming on our New York City campus and also here in Denver, software engineering cohorts, full-time in-person cohorts in New York City and in Denver. That is late breaking news. Happy to talk specifics, but wanted to throw that into this presentation. In addition to our Denver and our New York City campus that are offering, actual in-person cohorts, we have a couple of other campuses that have been reopened sort of to use as like a community space. Right now, the campuses that are open are Chicago, Austin, Denver, and New York City, with some additional locations to follow. And basically, the campus reopening is happening in phases. So right now, most of those campuses are a place to like connect with fellow students, utilize as a study space, and we're also starting up some in-person events. Very important note that unless you're in New York or Denver, all of the mandatory learning is still happening virtually. We don't have a set date on when in-person instruction for our other campuses will resume, but you can definitely keep an eye on our website that is up to date with all of our sort of return to campus information, flatironschool.com/campus experience. We're going to talk about the disciplines that we offer in the next couple of slides, but I wanted to start by sort of explaining the two learning paces that we offer. And those paces are called live and flex. So basically, everyone's schedule is so different. Some students are choosing to quit their jobs and take a fully immersive program, while others are working full-time or part-time, and they want to take a program on their off hours with a little bit more flexibility. So this is why we have the two different PACE options. They are the exact same curriculum at just a variety of different paces so that students can choose what's going to be the best and most realistic fit for them. Our live program is the quickest and most intense PACE option. Students are working 9 hours a day at minimum, attending live lectures, working on group activities, and solo project building throughout the day. Very, very important note is that it is impossible to work a full-time job and take a live program. There are not enough hours in the day. Many have tried, none have succeeded. So know that. That's why we have the Flex program. And the Flex course is, like I said, it's the exact same curriculum as the live program, but you're able to set your own schedule. You'll have an instructor and also technical coaches supporting you throughout the program. You'll have a mix of recorded lectures and also the ability to attend optional live lectures, as well as live study sessions, open office hours, and community events throughout as well with the Flex program. Career services support for both PACEs is the same. And then also, you do not have to make a final decision before applying to the program. This is something that we are more than happy to discuss with you. I know that, sometimes you're eager to make this career change, and a 15-week program sounds a lot nicer than a 20-week program or a 40-week or whatever. We just ask that you be realistic, and we're happy to have those conversations with you to figure out what's going to be the best fit for you. Okay, let's talk about our disciplines that we offer, starting with software engineering. Definitely one of our most popular programs. It's the course that we launched with all the way back in 2012. Software engineering is the design, development, maintenance, testing, and evaluation of websites and computer software. We designed the software engineering course to give you the necessary expertise in both back and front end development so that you can be a fully hireable full stack developer post-graduation. And some typical job titles we see our students land are software engineers and software developers. And this is a short rundown of our curriculum. I think you'll get the full syllabus after we wrap today as well. The primary technical languages we teach are Ruby and JavaScript, but you can also expect to learn front-end frameworks like React and Redux, and back-end frameworks like Sinatra and Rails. There is also some data structures and algorithms work sprinkled throughout as well to help with your critical thinking and also your ability to pass a technical interview during your job search. In the software engineering program, you'll have an outcome of 5 completed portfolio projects that you'll use to showcase to employers following the program. This is an example of a portfolio project completed by 2 Flatiron School students, and it's called Words with Nerds. It is a fully responsive gaming app and word puzzle built as a paired project during module 3 of our 5-module course, just to give you an idea of what you can expect to learn and create in the program. Also, pro tip, if you're interested in our software engineering program, many of our graduates, especially ones who went through the program virtually, have published their final capstone project on YouTube. So if you search like Flatiron School Mod 5 project or capstone project, Flatiron School, whatever, a couple will come up and they're really, really cool. And the admissions team, like I have some project examples of students that I've talked to who's gone through the program. So we're happy to send over those project examples if you want to see like this is the end result of the program. We have some really cool examples for you. I'm moving right along to our data science program. So data science is a field that uses scientific methods, processes, algorithms, and systems to extract knowledge and insights from structured and unstructured data. Basically, you're analyzing data to solve problems and inform business decisions. You're telling a story with the data that you've compiled. With this program, it is important to note that the biggest learning curve is calculus and also statistics. A strong math background and some prior exposure in both areas is definitely preferred. This is our data science curriculum. So you'll be learning everything from Python to machine learning in our 15-week course and also in our flex programs as well. You'll leave with an understanding of how to discover new techniques as your career progresses. And the structure of our data science program is sort of like building blocks. Every 3 weeks, you'll be introduced to a new module that builds off the learnings of the previous section, while also giving you enough time to like thoroughly understand the section that you're in, if that makes sense. So you're building as you go along, and your projects become larger and more like encompassing as you go through the course as well. This is a portfolio project from one of our data science students. She used the parameters of the Bechdel test to examine how women are represented in film and presented data-driven insights for end users with a dashboard that allows users to explore the data that most interests them. Creating dashboards from data is a very common practice that sorts your data into a quick visual, whether it be a graph or a chart. It allows you to measure and assess data quickly and easily to perform in a more productive fashion. Cybersecurity, that's our third discipline. So cybersecurity engineering is the protection of computer systems from theft or damage to hardware, software, or data. Basically, this means that it protects systems from cyber attacks so that people can operate safely. We have partnered with SecureSet Academy to help transform cybersecurity education and enable people to pursue careers that they love. So we will jump into the details of the program that we offer in the next slide. This is our cyber engineering curriculum. So in this course, you have 600 hours worth of curriculum content, learning advanced cybersecurity tools like Python, Wireshark, Linux, Metasploit, and you'll learn how to use them to defend against cyber criminals. In the program, there are 8 foundational courses that offer a deep dive on concepts like networks and systems, cryptography, application security, Python programming, and pen testing. And the program spends 50% of its time in the cyber range lab environment. So 50% is like learning, and the other 50% is like building and doing, which is pretty cool. Some common job titles for students who complete the program are security engineer, security analyst, penetration or pen tester, and also security consultant. And then lastly, we have our newest discipline, which is product design. Product design uses design research and also data to solve problems for a user's experience. Our product design grads will become product designers, UX or like user experience designers, UX researchers, or interaction designers. And this is a breakdown of our product design curriculum. At the live pace, this course is 15 weeks, broken into 5 phases. Phases 1 and 2 teach the fundamentals of UX and UI processes. Phases 3 and 4 give you real-world experience through rigorous projects where you'll employ the techniques that you learned in phases 1 and 2. And then phase 5 is where you pull all your body of work into a portfolio and prepare yourself for entry into the job market. I know this is a lot of information. I'm going to pause here really quickly and just remind you that we're going to take a ton of questions at the end. Feel free to pop them in the chat or the Q&A box. It looks like we have a couple already. I'll save them till the end, but yeah, okay, cool. Moving right along and sort of switching gears to talk a little bit about your journey from prospective student to graduate here at Flatiron School. So for the purpose of this slide, you're the guy in the middle with like your admissions rep, lead instructor, technical coach, and career coach, all present to help support your success throughout the different stages of the program. Your admissions rep, like myself or someone on my team, will guide you through everything that you need to know up until your first day of class. And that's where you'll meet your lead instructor. Our lead instructors are like expert software engineers, data scientists, cyber engineers, or product designers who just happen to love teaching. They will give you everything that you need to know to be successful in the program. And then when you need some extra support, we have tech coaches available nearly all the time. It's like 7 days a week, almost like 9 a.m. to midnight typically. So if you're working on projects in the off hours or during class time and you have questions or need a little bit of support, they're there to provide you with one-on-one immediate assistance, which is awesome. And you will definitely use that a lot. And then lastly, to support your job search, you'll have a designated career coach who meets with you one-on-one and helps you market yourself to the industry. This is a little breakdown of our admissions process. So the first step that you'll see here is to submit a written application. From there, myself or one of my colleagues will reach out and get you scheduled for an admissions interview. The admissions interviews are generally like a 20-minute conversation over Zoom, sometimes a phone call, where we just get to know you. It's not technical. There's nothing you really need to prep for. Just like be yourself, come with good questions. Not like job interview questions, but questions that you genuinely want to know. And it's just a conversation. Also in that call, we will help prepare you for the admissions assessment, which is our technical interview. It's basically like a critical thinking test, and we'll give you all the information in your admissions interview. And then after you complete your admissions interview, after you complete your admissions assessment, you'll receive an admissions decision. Once admitted, you'll get access to any required pre-work material. There's pre-work for all 4 of our disciplines. You will also figure out the financing. There's some paperwork you got to sign, and then you'll start class successfully on day 1. Some frequently asked questions. So I get this all the time, like, how do I know if I'm ready to apply? I really want to do this, but I'm scared to apply, whatever. Just apply. Like, you do not need to know how to like code, hack, design, or work with data. You do not have to be an expert in the field that you're hoping to study. That is literally why you're here. But you should definitely know, number one, that you're ready for a career change and that you're ready to commit to something that is challenging. And you should also know approximately how much time you have to commit to learning this new skill. From there, we will help you figure the rest out. Also, pro tip, we have a ton of like free intro lessons on our website. If you go to flatironschool.com, there's like intro to coding, intro to data science, cybersecurity. I think there's a product design one there too. I need to update this slide. They're just quick little, blurbs of information. It's not going to teach you anything groundbreaking, but it does look good on your application when we see that you've made a little bit of progress with these courses. So definitely feel free to check those out. I guess we're skipping right to financing. We can skip right to financing. So a quick rundown on our financing options. We have a handful of different payment options. But basically, I'm going to give you guys like all of the information, and then this will be sent to you as well in an email. But tuition for our programs, regardless of your discipline, regardless of your state, regardless of your pace, is the same. It is $16,900 in total. And essentially how it works is once you're admitted into the program, you pay a deposit of $500 up front. You can pay it with a credit card, you can pay it with a bank account, wire transfer, whatever you want to do. That deposit is what secures your seat in class. And it also is what unlocks pre-work, which is mandatory to complete before day one. And then for the balance, you have some options. You can pay it all up front if you want to, credit card, bank account, that's fine. You can break it into multiple invoices if you want to. Regardless, the full balance would be due before day one of class, actually about 10 days before day one of class. Option number 2 is installments. We work with EdAid, which is a company that offers 12 equal interest-free installments monthly throughout the course of a year, which is really nice. You are paying monthly while you're in the program, but it ends up being interest-free, which is fabulous. And then we also have, we work with a couple of different lenders, a company called Ascent and a company called Climb. They offer a variety of different loan and payback options to our students. They also have like payment calculators on their website. So even if you're in the very beginning stages of looking for a program or finding financing, you can go on their website and do like a quick little rundown and see what your interest rate might be, what your monthly payments would be, et cetera. So that's on their website and on ours as well. And then lastly, we do have some scholarship opportunities actively posted on our website. Under scholarships and diversity initiatives. There's a couple of really cool scholarships. One note on scholarships is that the application for these scholarships is internal. So what you're going to want to do is apply to the program first, schedule your admissions interview, and then during your admissions interview, feel empowered to ask about scholarships. We can give you more information. And if you qualify and you'd like to apply, we can send that application your way. And it's a pretty easy process. So we'll help you through it. All right. So we've talked a lot about what happens like before the program and during the program. And now we're going to talk quickly about arguably the most important part, which is what comes afterwards. And that is your job search. So a little bit about career coaching. Basically how it works is regardless of the program or the pace that you choose, when you're about 80% of the way through the course, we will match you with one designated career coach to assist you with everything from resume review, mock interviews, even a mock technical interview. These are professional career coaches who work one-on-one with our grads to make sure that you feel confident walking into your job search. In addition to your coach, you'll have the assistance of our employer partnerships team, and their role is to nurture local relationships with employers so that they're ready to hire our graduates. Speaking of hiring our graduates, here is our 2020 jobs report, which features both software engineering and also data science among 7 of our campuses in the US. This report and all of our reports are third-party verified and show the transparent outcomes of our students. So we're very proud to share that 86% of the students included in this report were able to find employment in less than 6 months of completing the program. This is our goal and like the real moment of celebration for our students when we see them land a job within the industry. And then we also have an average starting salary which is just under $75,000. What's cool is we've seen this number grow significantly over time for students who stay in their position and grow within their company. And then I think the next few slides break down the numbers a little bit more. Yeah, so starting with the average starting salary for women, which is $72,280. A little bit of room to grow there. And that's something that we're definitely passionate about. But what's exciting to see is that employment among women in this jobs report is 90%. So it feels good to be able to move the needle a little bit. And we do that through initiatives like our Women Take Tech Scholarship and our Access Scholarship. We just want everyone to know that like there is a place for you in the tech industry, and most certainly here at Flatiron School. And then I think this is our last slide before we jump into questions. It just shows our time to placement rate across all disciplines. What's really interesting is that on average, more than half of our grads found work within the first 60 days of completing their job, or the first 60 days of completing the program. This was our largest jobs report yet. Definitely recommend you guys digging into the data. You'll get a copy. It's like an 80-page PDF, just warning you already, of the report after we wrap. And it's also on the website for you to reference. And with that, I think, yeah, let's open it up for questions. It looks like we already have a few. Okay. I'm just going to start at the beginning. All right. So for the full-time option, will there be work outside of the 9 hours a day structure? So for our full-time program, and this is the courses that we offer in person, and also we're calling it our live program. The program is Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern time and Mountain time, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central time and Pacific time. And those are like your class hours. Like your day is structured for you. You are in and out of live lectures. You are doing paired programming. You're working on challenges. You're meeting with your instructor. Like you are booked and busy 9 hours a day with a lunch break. And then outside of that, we typically have students prep for an additional 10 to 15 hours a week of just like debriefing, rewatching the lectures because we record them for you, working on code challenges, building out your project, self-teaching because you go above and beyond. Like that all of that combined typically takes about 10 to 15 hours. There's not homework for the sake of there being homework. There's not busy work. It is all important. And for that reason, you're going to want to put in the time. So in total, you're looking at about 60 hours a week. Approximately how many students are there per cohort for an in-person 15-week program in software engineering? Good question, Dan. Our in-person programs and also our live, full-time live cohorts cap at 25 students max. So this is why when I say submit an application, I really mean it, because our programs fill, especially the full-time and especially the in-person cohorts, are filling at least a month in advance. So if you're looking for a program in December and January, submit an application like yesterday, because we do cap it around 25 students. That's not a number that we can go past, especially in person. We have capacity constraints. And so yeah, to get into that cohort, get yourself admitted, pay a deposit. I'm not trying to sound salesy, but we do have a pretty small cohort. The Flex program also has a cohort. It's not like you're meeting live all day long, like the live students, but you do have a group of people and a lead instructor that's assigned to you from start to finish. Those cohorts are slightly larger because it's like not as crucial. Like the small group isn't as crucial, but still it's like 35 students, I think, into a cohort. So pretty small as well. Is there data for product design grads? Yeah, good question. I wanted to touch on that because I know our jobs report says it's software engineering and data science for like 7 of our campuses. And essentially all of this information is worded much better in the jobs report, but like I'll sort of recap how we pull the jobs report. Essentially a campus has to be open or a program has to be running for, I think it's a year. And that means we have to have X amount of students graduate. Those students have to complete a full job cycle, which is 6 months typically is what we're measuring our grad success. And then it takes like a couple of months to get it all audited. So we do not have data for product design, and we also don't have data for our cyber engineering program. Both of those courses, I imagine, will be included in the next jobs report. We just didn't have enough of like a sample size, or the courses haven't been running for long enough to include in the report. But our software engineering program, makes up the bulk of that data, and also our data science course, because these are courses that we've been running for like 7-8 years at this point. So there's a ton of data on those two disciplines. And then our other two will have more data soon for sure. Someone asked, if I were to start the live program, but find myself unable to keep up, is it possible to change my schedule to a flex schedule? It's not something that you want to do. It's not impossible, but if you start a live program and you can't keep up, you're likely looking at a withdrawal and then re-enroll situation, which is a lot of paperwork. It's a lot of emails. You don't want to have to deal with that. The flex program, nobody asked, but I just want to give you guys a little bit more context on our flex course, because it's a lot of information, but I feel like we're underselling how cool the flex program is, just from like in my experience. The flex course is basically, like I said, it's the same curriculum as the full-time program. You're choosing your pace to start. So you can choose 20 weeks, 40 weeks, or 60 weeks, which is 5 months, 10 months, or 15 months, respectively. And basically the pace that you choose dictates your weekly time commitment to the program if you want to graduate on time. So for example, the 20-week flex pace is pretty full-time. You're looking at like 35 to 40 hours a week. The 40-week flex pace is like a solid 25 hours a week. And then the 60-week flex pace is like 12 to 15. It's a pretty part-time program. So you have your weekly time commitment, but it's really like a choose your own adventure situation. You can really be as plugged in or as unplugged as your schedule allows for. Flex students have recorded lectures that they have access to. So if you want to do this program in the middle of the night, on the weekends, whatever, you can do that without feeling like you have to be plugged in for a live lecture. However, flex students also have the option to attend any live lecture that the full-time students are attending. There are also live office hours, live study sessions, at least 4 times a week. There are community events. There are virtual happy hours. Also, flex students have the ability to come on campus if you live near a campus space. So if you're in New York and you're taking a part-time program, come to campus a couple of days a week and get connected. Same with Denver, Chicago, and Austin, and our other campuses as we reopen them. So the flex pace is nice because, well, one other thing, I know this is a lot of information, I'm sort of spiraling, but the best thing about the flex program, to your point, Ivan, is that you can change your pace if you need to easily without penalty. So let's say you started with the 20-week program. That is a full-time course. If you feel like it is too much, or if life is crazy, or if you want to take a vacation, or if you get sick, whatever, you can bump back your pace without penalty. Your graduation date will change slightly, but it's like a peace of mind that you're able to adapt to this program as your life changes. I have seen too many students like really want the career change. And so they're like, I'm going to make the 15-week program work. It's one thing to think about taking a 60-hour-a-week course, and it is a completely different thing to actually do it. Like, I think that's the biggest takeaway. And that's what I want to instill into all of my students is like, you have to be realistic because you have to actually learn the skill. It's not like C's don't get degrees. Like, it's not like college where there's like material that you can sort of like float through. Our programs, like every single thing that you're learning every single day is important, and it's like crucial. And that takes a lot more brain power than I think people are used to. So long rant, just to say that you want to yes, you want the career change. Yes, you want to get it over with, or at least that's what how a lot of students feel. But I beg of you to look at your calendar, take a deep breath, and figure out realistically what is going to work best for you week after week when you're actually living it. And if you feel like, 60 hours a week is a lot, because it is, the flex program is a really cool option, and it gives you the flexibility to change if you need to. Wow, that was a lot of information. Okay, Susan says, if you choose the 50-week flex, can you work ahead if you're able? Yes. So the only stipulation with the flex program is that you must finish in 60 weeks. 60 weeks is 15 months. Like, you can definitely do that. I've had a lot of students who like typically start with the 40-week flex program and then go up or bump back from there. That's like often a good option if someone's working a full-time job. The other nice thing too is like if you're working a full-time job that you know you want to phase out of eventually, but don't, you can't just like quit tomorrow and jump into this the immersive program. You could start with the 60-week flex program, work at your goal a little bit every day while you're keeping this full-time job. And then eventually you leave your job, you bump up your pace, and you graduate sooner. And so it just gives you options. And again, everyone's life situation is so different. What works for one person is not going to work for the other. So like just submit an application for the program, get scheduled for an admissions interview, or like schedule a call with an admissions rep so we can talk like about your life and like what's going to work best, and we can make recommendations from there. Oh, someone asked the same thing. What happens if I choose the 60-hour or the 60-week flex program 1 week and I happen to do more than 15 hours a week? If you do more, you're slightly ahead of the game. If you do less, you're falling a little bit behind, and that just means you want to pick up your pace a little bit. Throughout the entire flex course and also the live course, you have people that are checking in on you. Like, you have a lead instructor that's assigned to your cohort. You're going to be meeting with them. They're going to like message you and say like, you didn't make much progress this week. Like, is there anything I can do? Do you have questions? Blah, blah, blah. You also have technical coaches who are going to be like supporting your success throughout the program. So it's like, the flex program gives you flexibility, but there are still people that are holding you accountable for the goals that you've set for yourself, which I think is nice. The live program, people will be breathing down your neck Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, making sure that you're getting the work done. Okay, I think that is it. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's it. Any other questions, feel free to pop them in the chat box, but I want to keep you longer than we need to. Yeah, I think we're good. So let's talk about next steps. If I have thoroughly convinced you to join us here at Flatiron School, you can apply online, flatironschool.com/start. Or if you just have questions, feel free. Like, I'm gonna put my personal chat link into the chat box. You can copy. That's the link to my calendar. If you have questions, if you want to chat about PACE options, you want to chat about financing, you want to chat about competitors, whatever, schedule a chat. We are more than happy to connect with you. It's not a salesy thing. Like, we just, want to get you some information. And then also we have a ton of really cool virtual and also in-person events. Flatironschool.com/events will take you to our event page. We have virtual workshops. We have alumni panels. And actually, tomorrow we have an in-person open house event in Chicago. We have one in Denver. I'll be there. We have one in New York City, and we also have one in Austin. So if you live by one of those campuses and you want to come by, drink beer, ask questions, and probably eat some like chips and hummus, you can RSVP. I think it's tomorrow from 5 to 7 p.m. local times across all of our campuses. So definitely hope to see you all there. And I think that is it. Yeah, that's all she wrote. I'm just double checking for more questions, and I think we're good to go. So thank you so much for spending your time with me. Oh no, I lost myself. There. Oh, here. Okay. Sorry. I'm like, I lost my camera. Thank you guys so much for spending your time with me. I am going to send you this recording so you'll have it. You'll also have the slide deck and some more information. Again, do not hesitate to reach out. That's the link directly to my calendar that I popped in the chat box. So more than happy to connect with you all. Thank you for spending your evening with me. maybe I'll see you at campus tomorrow. If not, we will definitely be in touch when we get your applications in.